Thank you so much, Sir Marvin. So, sobrang daming takeaways, no? And what I like about this session is that first part, nag-discuss si Sir Melvin about the global and Philippine outlook, while si Sir Marvin naman, something that is actionable, something that you can execute right after this webinar. You will now be able to create a diversified portfolio combining the World Index, as mentioned by Sir Marvin, Dragon Growth, yung nabanggit ni Sir Melvin kanina, may opportunity sa China, we have that fund, local equity, CSG, while sa bonds naman, because of the interest rate cuts, the BPI ABF. So now, I think, Sir Melvin, Sir Marvin, we receive a lot of interesting questions. No? In advance, we also ask our registered participants if ano yung mga pressing questions. And right now, we're seeing a lot of interactions in our chat box. So we receive a lot of advanced questions. And I think we can now start by answering some of the questions that we receive first. Then later on the live questions, we will also answer. All right. So I think our team will also flash our top questions. Sige. So let's start, Sir Marvin, Sir Melvin. So first,
Carlo,
yes, Sir Marvin.
we have people also answering this na, no?
Yes, actually,
Ah,
sir, yung
tama?
research team natin, they're also answering some of the relevant questions a while ago, while right now naman, we will focus on the top questions in terms of the outlook and the actual funds. Sige, sir, let's start. First question, given Powell's Jackson Hole remarks, what is the best strategy for positioning ahead of a potential Fed rate cut in September? Would you like to take this, Sir Marvin?
Asan yan? Asan na tayo? Where is our
Sa right, upper right side, sir. Yeah,
question natin?
upper right question.
Nakashare na ba tayo?
Yes, nakashare na, sir.
Hindi ko nakikita eh. Sorry.
Okay. Sige, sir. I'll just articulate the question. Given Powell Jackson, the recent Jackson Hole remarks, no, of Powell, what is the best strategy for positioning ahead of a potential Fed rate cut in September?
Yeah. Sinabi na nga natin, no? Cutting interest rates will really give potential for equities, global equities, plus bonds, no? So, cutting interest rates will benefit the equities and bonds at the same time. So, kaya lang, yun nga, sinasabi natin, let's diversify our portfolio para you can capture both.
Okay. Second, thank you, Sir Marvin. Second question for Sir Melvin. How do lower US interest rates affect bonds compared with money markets? Should I keep my cash or shift more into bond funds?
Yeah, okay. So yung question mo is very similar do sa question earlier. So basta palagi nyo isipin, when interest rate goes down, bonds will always go up. Now, ang ironic doon is, if you compare bonds to money market, ang problem mo sa money market, there's no upside potential. So bakit ganon? So para mas maintindihan nyo siya, mas ma-appreciate nyo siya, mas mabuti, ganito. So may dalawang time deposit. Isang time deposit, yung dalawang time deposit is giving you both 5%. Parang 5% bibigay sa inyo. But yung first time deposit is only for 1 month. 1 month yung time deposit mo. Yung isang time deposit mo is 5 years. So ano mangyari doon? After 3 months, bumaba na yung interest rate from 5% to 4%. Example lang yun ha. 5% to 4%. So ano mangyari doon sa time deposit mo na 1 month? Eventually, after 3 roll, pagdating mo sa third month, 4% na lang interest mo. Kasi nga, nasama ka sa pagbaba ng interest. Ang tawag doon, reinvestment risk. Now, guess what? Yung 5 years mo, kahit bumaba na yung interest rate ngayon, in the next 5 more years, 5% pa rin kinikita mo. 'Di ba? And that's valuable. Kasi na-lock in mo na yung return mo. And people are willing to buy your time deposit even at a higher price. So kaya na sinasabi nila, kapag bumaba yung interest, yung bond mo, tumataas yung value exactly because yung value ng interest na makukuha mo in the next 4 years, na-lock mo na yung 5%. So yun yung reason bakit umaakyat ang bonds pag bumababa ang interest. Kasi nalalak mo na yung return mo. Okay?
All right, Sir Melvin, I think the next question is somehow relevant and related, no? Dun sa sagot mo. By from Miranda, no, if inflation risk remain because of tariffs and supply issues like as mentioned a while ago, how should investors protect their portfolios?
Bumili ka ng maraming bigas. Dahil biro lang. Okay. So ano yung laban ngayon sa Amerika? Tariff is inflation. Now, may lumabas sa data sa Amerika na medyo alarming. Ano yon? Employment. Yung taong walang trabaho, taong may trabaho, taong walang trabaho, no? So though it's not directly walang trabaho, yung data na lumabas is naghahanap ng trabaho. Okay? Para lang, ayoko na masyadong guluhin yung term. Basta isipin mo lang, dalawa yung problema ngayon sa Amerika. Yung posibleng pagtaas ng presyo at yung posibleng pagtanggal ng mga tao sa trabaho. Okay? So yun ang pinakamahirap na trabaho ni chairman, no? Kasi nga dalawa yan importante sa kanya. Now, ito yung suspecha diyan. Kung meron siyang kailangan protektahan, yung pag-akyat ba ng inflation or yung pagtanggal ng trabaho, ang gagawin niya is yung pagtanggal ng trabaho ang proprotektahan niya. Bakit? Kasi yung inflation, pag umakyat yan, temporary yan eh. Kasi alam natin, kaya tumataas ang inflation because of tariff. Eh 1 year later, wala na ulit yun, correct? Pero pag natanggal ka sa trabaho, aba, medyo matagal-tagal na usapan yan kasi wala ka na ng trabaho, di ba? So between mawala ng trabaho or potential increase ng inflation, mas uunahin ni Powell yung protektahan yung trabaho. So yan ang
Mm.
mas binabantayan natin, yung
Oo,
pagprotekta
oo.
dun sa trabaho.
Baka
Okay?
mawalan din si Powell ng trabaho, di ba?
Oo, baka maski siya mawala ng trabaho.
Sabi, mawalan ng trabaho.
Agree,
Okay.
sir. No? I think ang important dito is the balance between the Fed and even yung mga ginagawa ni Trump ngayon. No? So I think we will skip the question of Aidan since somehow na-answer na siya. We can take the next slide for the next question. So on the upper right portion, there's a question here from Ryan. What's your take on US political risk? Is it even significant if the USD remains stable despite Trump's actions? Would you like to take this, Sir Marvin or Sir Melvin?
Sige, so yung sa dollars, sa Amerika muna, no? So si Trump, of course, syempre, do I agree with what Trump is doing? Definitely no, right? Now, ano yung impact niyan? Kasi I would assume, no, yung nagtanong, he was really more particular with the de-dollarization. No, yung posibleng paghina ng dollars or even replacing dollars as the global currency. Now, kung tatanungin mo, is that possible? It's possible, but I don't think that will happen in the near term. So we're expecting that the global reserves today is about 60% is in dollars. Oh, not this year kasi bumaba na. So before nila sinanction si Russia, okay, the dollar reserve is about 60%. Okay? So we're expecting in the next 7 to 10 years, the global reserves for US dollars will go down to about 40%. So hindi namin in-expect mawawala yung dollars, pero hindi naman namin in-expect na walang impact yung ginawa ni Biden before. Okay? So bakit in-expect namin that dollars will be there? Palaging nandyan pa rin siya. Because most of the debt in the world is in US dollars. You cannot just replace that overnight. Most of the equities in the world is US denominated, it's denominated in dollars. Hindi mo naman pwedeng ibenta lahat yun at i-convert mo to whatever currency that is, right? And besides, if you look at US dollars, if you remove US dollars, the next question is, ano yung kapalit? Now, we've been hearing na si BRICS gagawa ng bagong currency. But up to now, wala pa rin naman nangyayari, di ba? So we still do not know that, right? So, but in the interim, I still think that the dollars will still be there.
I like to add, I like to add, Carlo, yung regarding
Yeah.
sa US political risk. Ano talaga yan, ha? What Trump has done is really very unstable. Alam niyo, hindi nagkagulo mundo eh. Nagkagulo mundo talaga, grabe. And then the people, regarding this trade negotiations, you invest here, bababaan kong tariff, you do this, you do that, ganun. Parang, it is very hard for people to make serious investments with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of instability. So, worst thing that can happen, people will hold back investment. Saka muna, tingnan muna natin yan. I cannot transfer my development or my production in another country. But that takes a lot of investment, that take years. Tapos, pag natapos na si Trump, pakapalitan na naman yung ano, di ba, policy. So, this thing can just hold investment. But I think on select issues like AI, paligay ko doon lang tutuloy. But the others, medyo, yun yung risk lang talaga on that, Carlo.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Melvin, Sir Marvin. No, I think what's interesting here also is to identify the opportunities despite of the transitions, di ba, may mga new regulations in the US, opportunities in China, yung opportunity yung dapat maging focus ng mga clients natin or even the investors, which translate as, Sir Marvin, connect ko na rin yung next question. In terms of asset classes, what's the best strategy for local investments given US tariffs? Sir Marvin?
Nasagot na natin yun, yung four funds na pinakita natin. I think that you can say that again, di ba? You have
Okay.
world equities, you have China, you have local equities, and then you have bonds.
Yeah, agree. Kasi ito, sir, diversified na siya both on local and global, then may equities ka na in bonds.
Yep.
On the left side, question from Alma, what do you think will happen to ASEAN economies with the new US tariffs? Will they struggle with exports or can importing economies like the Philippines hold up better? Sir Melvin, would you like to take this?
Alam mo, this may come as a surprise to you guys. Vietnam is at an all-time high now. So, in terms of yung impact nga ng ng tariff, sa totoo lang guys yes, naintindihan ko yon that things will be more expensive, etc., etc. But that doesn't mean that they will not buy anymore. They'll probably buy lesser, but they're still gonna buy. And it's as if you can buy it, you can produce it locally. So example, kung ang US kailangan bumili ng Philippine mango, kahit naman anong gawin niya, kailangan niya bumili sa Philippines kasi ang tawag nga doon Philippine mango correct? 'Di
Hmm.
ba? So, there a lot of our products are not really that replaceable. Hindi naman siya na it's either gagamitin ko to o hindi, di ba? So most of the things that the US will still use will still come from Asia. In fact, a lot of them from the ASEAN region. So countries like Vietnam, Thailand, dito pa rin naman magagaling yun. Hindi siya basta-basta mare-replace. Okay? There was a question earlier about India. So India, so siguro let me give you a context, no? Bakit, kasi may tanong kanina, bakit daw hindi nasama si India? Well, syempre of course Marvin would have his own view. But ang India kasi ngayon, 'di ba, pag napansin mo si China at saka si India, ang mas pinag-iinitan ni China ngayon, ng US ngayon si India. Kasi bakit? Kasi si China hindi niya basta-basta pwede pag-initan. That's exactly why I agree with the view of Marvin that if I have to look for a growth market, it will be China. Kasi hindi niya kaya pag-initan ng China eh. Hindi niya kaya sabihin na, oh China, I will give you 200% tariff. Anong ginawa niya? Anong ginawa ni China? Sinabi lang ni China, sige, bigyan mo ko 200%, hindi ako magpapadala ng magnet sa iyo. Magnet lang ang katapat. Ano nangyari? Tumiklop si Donald Trump, kumausap. Kasi pag walang magnet, wala lahat ang mangyayari sa Amerika. Walang makina, lahat wala, right? Unfortunately, si India do not have a lot of those bala. Kaya medyo napag-initan si India. But sa totoo lang, I still expect India to do well as an economy. Okay?
Yeah, just to add, meron tayong India Fund sa platform natin. Hindi ko lang siya niligay sa top pick natin. Simply because of this nga. Plus, tumaas na yung PE niya eh. Nang mahal na eh. More than 20 times na. Tapos, ang earnings growth medyo hihina. In other words, hindi na siya as attractive, but it still remains resilient. Okay pa rin siya, but not as attractive as China. Yun lang sa topic.
Actually, to add, no, Sir Marvin, Sir Melvin, we have 70 plus funds and regularly we are releasing insights by our research team on a weekly basis. Even the fund fact sheets, you can explore that. And now, I think the next question I can connect this to Sir Marvin. No? What budget-friendly dividend-paying investments are available as the tariff issue is ongoing? What can you recommend? I think this is part of our topic also, Sir Marvin, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oo, nagkaroon tayo ng income paying webinar eh, di ba? So, meron tayong income-paying funds that is really very affordable, 1,000 pesos lang. And the yield is about 6%. Meron tayong tatlo niyan. If I can share this, meron tayong tatlong funds na ano dyan eh. Let me see kung nakikita niyo to. Kita niyo ba to? You see this? Hindi.
Yes, we can see it na, Sir Marvin.
Yung income-paying?
Yes, the
Oo.
income paying selections. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nagkaroon kami ng webinar dyan eh. So we have the Manulife Global Multi-Asset Income Feeder Fund, 6.6%. Now it's about 6%. Ang yield, dividend monthly. Nagbibigay monthly. Pero ang yield niya per annum net, 6. And then you have ALFM Global Multi-Asset, 6 din. The Manulife Global Prefers, about 5.6. So we have some of these income paying funds that you can look at as well.
Alright. Actually, our team also behind the scene, naglagay sila ng link on how you can access our top picks, including the income paying mentioned by Sir Marvin, and how you can navigate para if you want to execute. So next question, I think we are on the third list of questions. First question on the upper right, which global funds currently show? I think this one nasagot na natin, yung Sun Life World Equity Index and the Manulife Dragon Growth. Second on the lower right, do you think AI is a bubble? What's the most effective way to gain exposure to AI companies? I think this one answered also through our top picks. Sige, tingnan natin yung left side. By Ferdinand, nabanggit na rin ni Sir Marvin yung Manulife Healthcare Fund natin. I think interesting question from Bernie. Are there specialized sector funds such as technology-focused strategies that remain attractive given current valuations? Sir Marvin, would you like to take this?
Yeah, meron tayong tech fund. Meron tayong tech fund ngayon. Kaya lang, sa Manulife din siya. It's invested in different tech companies as well. Kaya lang, the reason why we're not putting it there as a top pick, medyo, ano rin very concentrated siya sa tech. And it has really gone up so fast. And the expected return will become lower and but it's still okay. That's why but ang gusto namin is to broaden out the investment opportunities through the world which has a lot of those tech companies and in China which has a lot of those yung top investment niya puro tech din. Pero kung pure tech ang gusto mo, we have that. You can look it up, Manulife Tech Fund as well.
Okay, so we're down to our last advanced questions list. But interesting here, marami pa tayong live questions na sasagutin. Thanks to our participants for staying. Last questions in terms of the fund products. I think we can flash that portion. Question on fund products. Aside from Manulife Dragon Growth Fund, what other global funds have a good potential for growth of my portfolio? I think this is also related to the answer of Sir Marvin a while ago. Lower right, what industry could lead the next bull run? Do you have local funds with specific themes or sectors that are expected to drive the most growth? Sir Marvin or Sir Melvin, would you like to take this?
Industry.
Local fund. Okay, pwede ba global na lang? Okay, so ang problem mo kasi sa Philippines, the industry is so small.
Oo.
So there's really no theme here. Kung sinabi mo banking, parang pipito lang sila, whatever, right? So sa akin, the reason why, yes, Philippines is very cheap and it's also very important that part of our portfolio is Philippine market. But remember, the playground is way bigger. So why just stay in the Philippines? When pag sinabi mong tech, hindi lang naman tech sa Amerika yun, tech sa buong mundo yun eh. Diba? Pag sinabi mo healthcare, hindi naman healthcare lang sa Amerika, sa buong mundo yun eh, di ba? So if you're looking for themes, you're better off going to the global market side rather than the Philippine market side only. Okay, mas malaki yung opportunity mo. Remember, if you have more choices, you can have better returns. And guess what? Lower risk. Kasi always remember guys, the reason why, pansinin nyo, karamihan ng mga recommendation natin is funds. Because funds has one very inherent advantage. the ability for them to move your money if they're already seeing that a specific stock is already risky, overvalued, hindi na siya worth it, they'll sell it on their own. And you do not have that if you do that directly. Okay?
I agree, Sir Melvin, which brings us into the next question. Actually, Sir Marvin, this one I just want to mention. Yung tanong kasi about S&P 500. We have a BPI US fund no in our platform, which is a fund that will give our investors an access to the S&P 500, and yung MSCI as mentioned by Sir Marvin, yung Sun Life World Equity Index Fund. The last two questions here, Sir Marvin, I think na banggit nyo na rin yung income paying funds natin, the Manulife Global Multi-Asset, the Sun Life World Income, and the ELFM Income Fund as well, and even the Global Technology. So I think at this portion, we can now focus on the live questions since all the advanced questions have been addressed already earlier. Sige, tignan natin yung mga nasa Q&A tab portion natin, and we receive a lot of interesting questions. From Franco, how does taxes work for the COL Global Funds? Does it work like the stock market that is already automatically taxed by COL? Would you like to take this, Sir Marvin?
Hindi siya wala nagtatax yung the fund itself, when it buys the investment and nakuha na yun, doon na natatax na. If there are any taxes there, no? Differently, for different funds, depending on the jurisdiction, there's going to be tax accordingly. So wala nang iisipin na tax yung investor natin dito sa Pilipinas. In fact, may bagong law that is very clear already na dito sa CIMEPA, it was just released in July. The new law, pinasabi doon na any gains on mutual funds and even UITF are exempt from taxes. Yung taxes na binibili ng fund itself, kunyari bumili siya ng bond, tapos may interest income, may income tax yun, may tax on interest income na nababawas na yun. Pero yung investor ng fund, pag gumita siya, wala ng tax.
Yes, actually, that's the beauty no, of investing in funds. It's already imputed. Net na yung marireceive natin if you're an investor, clean na. And because of CIMEPA, maraming naging advantages in terms of the tax-related component. Okay, next question. Thank you, Sir Marvin. Let's see what are the other live questions. On the four recommended funds, what is your suggested deployment? Equally 25% each from Mac, Sir Marvin?
Yeah, Mac, ganito yan, it really depends on where you are in your risk appetite. Hindi hard and fast rule 25% each. That's the easy way to do it, no? Pero if you're conservative, we believe that you have to have more bonds. Mas malaki, at least 60% yung bonds ka dyan, kung conservative ka. And then you have the difference of 40%. You can have more of you can do it 40% the global equity and then 40% the local equity, and you have 20% the China. Now, depending naman kung you're aggressive, pwede naman mas maraming equities, di ba? You have 60 to 70% equities, and then yung bonds mo, ito balance. Proportionately, ganun din. So, it really depends on you, but in terms of deployment, I would imagine, depending on your appetite, risk appetite, kung mas conservative ka, more bonds. Kung mas aggressive ka, more equities. Diba? There's no hard and fast rule, but that is what we suggest. Essentially, incidentally, we have on a quarterly basis, Carlo, you might want to
Yeah.
tell. Ba?
Yes, actually, we added here no, in our chat box a quick link about our third quarter outlook released by our research team. So on a quarterly basis, to Sir Marvin's point, we are releasing the allocation model as well. If you want to check it out, you can look at our mutual funds tab, and that will help you how to balance no, yung equities and bonds allocation, and even to Sir Melvin's point a while ago, talagang diversification yung kailangan natin. Okay, so watch out sa fourth quarter outlook natin in the coming months. I think we are down into the last three live questions. So let's see. Thank you for staying. No, we still have 500 plus participants. Kung mamimili po ako sa Asia, should I invest in PH, China, or India, and why? If I want to diversify, gaano kalaki? Sir Melvin, would you like to take this?
Okay, so sa akin kasi, in fact, your question is very related dun sa isang question para isang sagutan na lang. No? Sabi niya, if I have US dollars and PH fund available for 5 to 7 year investment horizon, does Mr. Melvin recommend that I favor investing PH over US? Okay. So sa akin, at the end of the day, kailangan nyo palaging isipin, investing is not linear. So hindi yung, okay, pag ininvest ko, lahat kayo, lahat ng sasabihin ko sa inyo, lahat yung gagawin nyo, eksakto-eksakto. So it doesn't work that way. So each one of you will have your own risk appetite. Each one of you will have your own preference. So if whatever is that I'm going to share with you is what I think would be my preference. And then dun tayo maglalaro ngayon, no? So ako talaga tatanungin nyo, a big part of what I'm looking at is China and US. China and US and Philippines. Okay, so bakit? So isa-isa natin. Bakit US? At the end of the day, US is still the most efficient market in the world. So kahit paano mo ikot-ikotin yun, iyon pa rin ang pinaka-efficient na market. And the difference between Philippines and China and the US, si US, every month, may pumapasok na pera sa US stock market. Kasi because of the 401k, the pensions, etc., etc. So in the long run, the US market will always continue to go up. Okay? China, bakit ko sinasabi China? Because between the US and China, yung sobrang mura ni China sa US if we believe that the AI is the next big thing. Di ba? So, yes, the likes of NVIDIA will continue to do well, no, but what if you're now going to companies that are now cheaper ng malaki and may not yet be an NVIDIA but eventually will go there? Hindi ba yun ang gusto nyo? It's the anticipation of what will be the next NVIDIA. Now, if I would be a betting man, I will bet most likely it will come from China. That's my only point. Okay? Now, bakit Philippines? Kasi alam ko naman mahal nyo itong bansa natin. Dahil alam ko naman mahal nyo. But the point there is, Philippines is ultra cheap. I mean, sabi ko nga sa inyo, hindi ko nga alam kung paano ko di-describe gaano kamura ang Philippines eh. Now, I also saw a lot of comments na kasi corrupt ang Pilipinas, etc., etc. But corruption is universal. Bakit? Sa tingin nyo ba sa US walang corruption? Di ba, palagi nga nila nirereklamo kung gaano ka-corrupt si Donald Trump, di ba? So corruption is not only happening in the Philippines, that's global. Okay, so sinasabi natin, okay, so other than obviously corruption, so, tinitingnan natin the valuation of the companies. If I were to look at, let's say, the Ayalas or the SM Group, di ba? Sobrang mura na niya. Mga ganun, ha? So, kaya, tatlo. Philippines, China, US. Yan ang tatlong biggest market that I'm looking at. No? Of course, if you want to have some flavor in your portfolio, pwede ka nang maglagay siguro ng konting India. But ako personally, meron akong India, pero it's very small compared to my China, US, and of course, Philippines. Yan.
Yeah, good point, Sir Melvin. No? I just want to add regarding US and China. Kasi yung AI right now, it's just starting. No? Meron silang mga deeply embedded AI models right now in enterprise operations. And actually, si Microsoft then may recent siyang ni-launch na first in-house model ng AI. So I think this can add flavor into the US AI-related run and even sa China while also considering the local side as mentioned by Sir Melvin. Next question. We have last two questions sa live Zoom. Yeah. I think this one for Sir Marvin. I invested in SL Wave or Sun Life World Equity as recommended by COL, but knowing it's 60% US, I want to focus on China more. Do I fully transfer my investment to Manulife Dragon Growth Equity Fund from PAMI, Sir Marvin?
No. I don't think that's the idea. I think you should add to the China. Parang ganun eh. Ganun ang mangyayari. The wave is not a sell, ah. Kasi kung if you want to buy China, I suggest you add na lang doon sa China and keep your wave. Yung Sun Life, yung SLWEIF as recommended. Di ba?
Diversification pa rin, Sir Marvin. No? Kasi
Yes.
year to date, si China nasa 14.7 while si Wave around 5%. So at least you have both world index, then meron kang allocation sa China. Thank you, Sir Marvin. we're down to our last question. And again, thank you for staying. What's going to happen to the Manulife Dragon Fund and local equities and RP bonds if China suddenly invades Taiwan? So medyo territorial related na, Sir Marvin, Sir Melvin. Would you like
All
to
bets
take
are
this?
off. All bets are off ba, Melvin?
Okay, okay. Ako sasagot niyan kasi pupunta ako ng Taiwan. Okay, that's a very good question. Sino ba nagtanong? Si ZQ?
Si
Hindi,
Noel.
may ZQ. Zoom
Noel.
question
Si
ba ibig
Noel.
sabihin nun? Si
Noel,
Noel.
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 Okay, so that's a very good question. Okay, so is it possible that China will invade Taiwan? Obviously, yes. Di ba? Kasi kahit naman gaano kaliit yung probability na yon, kung ang tanong mo is, will there be a possibility? The answer is yes. Will the probability be high? I tell you, it's almost zero. It's almost zero. At least in the near term. At least in the near term. So, pwede ka pa mag-book this December to Taiwan. Okay? So, bakit hindi i-invade ng China si Taiwan? Okay. So, number one, you know what China did nung naggera si Russia at saka Ukraine? Di ba he was staying sideline? Because he was observing what the world will do to Russia. And guess what? Nakita niya, the whole world sanctioned Russia. Now, will China do that? Ngayon alam na niya ang gagawin? If China gets sanctioned by Europe, by the US,
World.
patay ang economy ni China. Kasi ang pinaka number one economy niya ngayon is export. Tapos sinanction siya lahat ngayon. Patay siya. So tama nga na nakuha na niya ulit si China, ay si Taiwan, pero sobrang bagsak na ng economy niya. So he will not do that. Timing-wise, it's gonna be so bad for him. Okay? What else? So you see, ang pinaka-kailangan nyo isipin, ngayon, if you want to, baga ang ngayon kasi, is palagi natin iniisip, pag war, palagi iniisip natin is conventional warfare. So, lulusob sila, etc., etc., correct? You know, guys, war doesn't work that way anymore. There are more ways that you can destroy a country or an economy without physically shooting bombs and missiles. Diba? You know, number one, trade. Trade lang kailangan mo. And between US and China, US is conventional warfare, China is trade. So, hindi siya yung type na makikipaggerahan at magbabarilan. He will build his country because of trade. Payayamanin yung sarili niya. Okay, there.
All right. Thank you, Sir Melvin. No? Great stuff from our speakers this afternoon. So both world nakita natin, global outlook, and now how to execute. To summarize our key takeaways, I think it's important to understand the main points so you can execute right after. So for me, I have three key takeaways this afternoon. No? So first is to position for lower rates. Kanina nabanggit ni Sir Melvin and Sir Marvin, every time the central bank will cut a rate, of course, there will be an effect sa bonds. So, position in our BPI ABF bond fund. Then, diversify globally to the world and consider China. So, that's your Sun Life World Equity Index and the Manulife Dragon Growth Fund. And of course, ride the Philippine growth story selectively. So, your CSG or the COL Strategic Growth Fund can be the fund for you to execute. And of course, we want to invite everyone to read our weekly fund recap, our fund spotlight. We have regular content in our fund source platform. Access that in your mutual fund tab. And this is just the beginning, no? So marami pa tayong mga content and webinars in the coming months. So watch out for any announcement. Follow our social media channels, COL Financial, in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, for more content. Kasi ang goal natin dito, Sir Marvin, Sir Melvin, is to guide our clients and even our new participants who just joined this webinar so you can be guided in your investing journey, diversifying local and global.